HiFiMAN brand doesn't need any introductions, right? We reviewed the Ananda, we reviewed the Edition 6S in comparisons also with the Sundara. Close, open, you will find everything in descriptions. And finally here also the Arya Organic that I saw for the first time and I tested to the high-end Munich show this year 2023. Video comparisons about the two to give you my feedback about it and why not more informations for you. So let's do it. Speaking about these two headphones that, as you see, are really similar and they share an open back driver design, same technology like stealth magnets, nano diaphragm, and of course comfort, but we will speak just about it in a second moment. If you ask yourself why I'm wearing this cap, because it's really cold here in Germany, really cold. And no, I didn't perform my test in this way, right? Was without. Instead they differ in specs like impedance, 60 ohm on organic and 32 on stealth, and in the end the classic wood ear cup finish on the Arya Organic. That you may like it or not, I personally like it. For me is not absolutely a problem. I like also the black one of the stealth, and yeah, it's giving a touch of retro warm feeling that I find really beautiful. But let's speak about comfort. Comfort is something really subjective, and I think if there is something in common between the HiFiMAN products is that the comfort is really good and is absolutely amazing when it's coming with this hybrid headband, how HiFiMAN call it, right? Compared to the headbands of the Edition 6S, for example. Able to spread the 500 grams of weight on your head, really perfect. Also if you don't have hair like me. Asymmetrical ear cup shape is a next level, and you got all the space and deepness that you need for your ears. Earpads are soft enough, it's a combination of leather and polyester if I'm not wrong, it's not velour, making long listening sections a pure pleasure. Of course you can tilt and swivel without problem, you can adjust the sides, and they don't feel clampy at all, like for example the 600 series from Sennheiser that we just reviewed, right? So for bigger head I think it will be a really comfortable headphones, where with smaller head you will probably feel more the weight of the headphones, but overall I can say that it's really a A+ comfort. Build quality is excellent, metal structure is incredibly solid, and they are coming with a 3.5 TRS input for the headphones cable, something that, as I said, I would like to see in any headphones. So HiFiMAN, Meze, they just do it in the right way. About accessories, I really would like to see in this price range a good XLR cable. Instead, the single end that is coming with both Arya Stealth and Organic that is stiff and bent in weird memory shapes. Make it a little bit annoying to handle it. Hard to drive, easy to drive? Well, not really hard to drive, and I was able to pair it with the new hip DAC from Hi-Fi that I just received review coming soon, and the combinations was incredibly good. So, but at least I will really suggest something like that to take the best from these two headphones. And of course I paired it also with the SPL Phonitor XE that combined it with a balanced cable was just a killer setup. And not only, I tested also with the Marantz Cinema 40 that we reviewed this year's beautiful AV receiver for home theater, and I was really impressed with the sound quality of this receiver, something abnormal, beautiful. And with the HNQ from Cambridge Audio that was able to give more details, more spaciousness, and guys, pair it with all you want, but please not only with a dongle, is a like-hand headphones and require a good amplifier. And don't get me wrong, must be not expensive, something portable will be really enough. I have the Arya Stealth since many months, and what I really like from these headphones is that they are able to convey emotions with presence, with extended frequency response, a lot of details, never fatigue or aggressive, and in the end really a lot of fun. Especially with the Organic, that I consider to be more funny than the Stealth, because the Stealth could sound a little bit more neutral. Both are sharing timbre, dynamic, but not tuning and soundstage. Especially Organic remind me sometimes the Editions XS in terms of fun, in terms of deliver a sound that is really immediate to enjoy, but with something more in everything, in bass, in timbre accuracy, in dynamic, compared to the Edition 6S, of course. And before to jump to some quality, I measured both with the mini DSP ears, and I tried to align the two measures with what I perceived during the listening sections, right? Because it's really about align to frequency response. I mean, I can align it both on the bass and saying that the Organic, for example, is more bright, or I can align both on the treble and say that the bass is pretty similar or slightly more on the Stealth. So, but it's not like that. What you feel during the listening sections, especially on music genre, is what I found here in this graphic. And we can see a slightly bit more emphasizations on the bottom end on the Organic in orange, where Stealth is pretty more neutral till 1 kHz. The Organic tend to have a dip around 160 Hz. Probably for give more separations between bass and mid-range to let you feel the mid-range more holographic, more forwarded. That could be something positive in some tracks, because I like how voices are coming out from the Organic, but at the same time in other track I found that there is too much isolations on the mid-range, that sometimes is too much pushed, give it a feeling that the bass is disattached. And in the end, mid and upper treble on Organic is pretty clear that is more pushed, more emphasized and more bright. Something interesting also to notice is that the Stealth was slightly more harder to drive, and I had to push my RME audio to DAC at -25, where on the Organic it was -29 to get the same amount of SPL. And my only concern is this peak around 8 kHz that is... You can feel it a little bit, especially on S emphasizations. For example, listening for Paul Simon track, Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes. Organic was, a little bit annoying with the S emphasizations, where on the Stealth is already vivid, right? On the Organic was just too much. But in the same time, I like it that is an emphasizations that is energetic, but not hard and aggressive. And I'm not joking when I say that these two headphones let me literally sold my Focal Utopia headphones that I purchased long times ago. I'm speaking not about the last model, the previous generation of 2020. And I paid out of money, and guys, I just sold it because in the end I always end up to pick one of these two to listening and enjoy my favorite music. And I thought, I have to save some money to buy other stuff to review, and I just sold it, and because in the end was always there and I didn't use it. Stealth is so well balanced, transparent, reactive and quick, enough dynamic that will really let you don't need to have another headphones in your collections. It can handle any music genre. If we take for example another one, my favorite headphones in my collections, that is the 800S, that will give you more presence on the vocals, more intimacy, at the same time a huge bigger soundstage. It's a headphones that I love it, but you can't have only the 800S, because you will need something with more bass for EDM, for example. And here is where Stealth let me understood that these the headphones that you can have it in your collection as single headphones. You will just need this. Doesn't got the soundstage of the 800S, but is still huge, still big. Sub-bass extensions is pretty deep. Of course, better than 800S, not as the Focal Utopia or the Yamaha that we just reviewed, but really good. I have articulations, I have precision, mid-bass is neutral, not emphasized, with enough body for bass drum and instruments. I'm not a bass head lover, I always prefer a more clean presentation, something that never overwhelms vocal or instruments. Mid-range, as I said, is neutral, is vivid, is realistic. Treble is detailed, has presence, energetic but never fatigue or aggressive. But if you are sensitive to treble, then you will find the stealth slightly piercing, a little bit, just a little bit, especially on cymbals you will hear it, but never aggressive, harsh or hard. Guys, timbre accuracy is fantastic, and I think that timbre accuracy and realism is what separate the Arya, stealth and organic from, for example, Editions XS. So when you ask me, Mel, what is the big difference compared Editions XS to the Arya generations, I will say probably timbre and instrument realism and vocal, of course. Articulations, imaging, separation is all A+. So clinic, technically excellent, that acoustic strings, classic instruments or piano will sound exactly how it should. And what about classic instruments and also jazz? I listen a lot of classic and jazz, guys, and this is the big difference between the two. With stealth always able to deliver a really clean performance, where bass strings on the organic was sometimes slightly too muddy. Also piano was smoother and yes, warmer, but also with more grain compared to the stealth. Definitely coming with more articulations and separation. And in the end, cymbals and hi-hat on the organic that was slightly more pushed, more forwarded and with more spotlight, so you may like it or not. And speaking about these two music genres, so classic and jazz, my pick is absolutely the stealth. In my opinion, it has something more speaking about technical performance. Everything is more connected, speaking about the three main bands, so bass, mid-range and treble is everything more united, and you will never get this feeling of disattached bass or treble. What I like from both is that they are immediate and easy to listen. They never require a burn-in period that, as other headphones, for example, when we review the Focal Elysia, you need a couple of months before give you the best. Also when we review the Meze, for example, the Meze LIRIC, both require a burn-in period of a couple of months to give you the best. Not with the HiFiMAN Arya and other HiFiMAN products, I like that they are ready to go. Something also really interesting is crazy how I was enjoying vocals in terms of presence with the stealth before move to the organic, and switching during tests between stealth and organic, you really feel the difference. The organic definitely has something more analytic in the mid-range. It has this ability, especially on vocals, to give you this goosebump effect, right? Like the 800S, for example, from the Sennheiser. This is something that the organic is able to do it really good, because yeah, it has an amount of intimacy and presence with vocals that will be more closer to you, that I really like. Also because I listening a lot of R&B and having vocals slightly more forwarded, I love it, I just love it, because it's giving this spotlight on the artist, on the singer that really deserve. And don't get me wrong, please, not that it's bad on the stealth, just is more neutral, and here is more goosebump effects. At the same time, some bright recording on the organic could sound slightly bright, more energetic, but as I said, never aggressive or harsh. It's just slightly more bright on the upper treble. Interesting because lower treble is slightly de-emphasized, leaving vocals sound more spread out, colored and veiled, rather than natural. Are definitely slightly more colored compared to the stealth. Definitely organic is more funny, slightly less technical, but both with an amazing level of transparency, speed, details where you are able to feel micro nuance, variations, all simply impressive. In terms of dynamics, we are there. Probably the organics will give you more impact on the bass, also because it's slightly more warm just on the bass, but dynamic we are there. If you are a fan of classic music and orchestra on planar magnetic technology, it never impressed me, but is really good compared of course to dynamic driver. EDM, modern music, rock, metal, my pick is the organic. It's just more funny to listen, but really both are able to play everything, with stealth that lean more on jazz, classic, and the organic on R&B, EDM, rock, metal, modern music and pop, and hip hop of course. And I think that which one is the better for you is not only about music genre, but also about your age. And yeah, don't laughing, because we know, right? The ears of a 20 years audiophile is not the same of a 60 years old man. I'm something between around 40. And I'm sure that younger generations will probably prefer the stealth that is definitely less emphasized on the top end. So keep it in mind. I hear some rumors regarding the stealth soundstage that is too big, but I personally find it perfect. And I don't find organic intimacy having a small soundstage. I think sometimes soundstage and vocal instruments and presence is misunderstood. You can have a big soundstage with closer vocals and instruments, like for example the 800S. And for example, I found the soundstage on Organic bigger than the stealth, especially in live recordings. I can feel the crowd and the reverb of the concert. Extended far away stealth soundstage. So in the end, if I would pick a characteristic to add or delete on the stealth and the Organic, will be probably more depth and intimacy on vocal and instruments on the stealth, and less energy on upper trebles on the Organic. So one thing's here and one thing's there, and maybe easily reachable with EQ. I try to do also some EQ. I will not speak about it because otherwise this video will be really too long, but I always prefer to cut something instead to add something, right? Because I always had the feeling that when I add something, especially when you start to add more than 3 dB, it just doesn't sound natural. Unfortunately, I'm not an EQ lover. I love to hear the headphones how it is. So, but if you are, sometimes I play also with EQ, but yeah, most of the times I prefer don't do it. And so guys, that was my review comparisons of the Stealth and Organics, two incredibly good headphones again from HiFiMAN, and I recommend it both. I hope with this type of video you have more informations to choose between the two. Of course, if you don't have the possibility to take an auditions of both. And if you like it, please, as always, like buttons. Please take in consideration to subscribe to the channels for support my work. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. From an audio is everything. Peace.